It's like being in the street. You don't want to start, petty hustling, and then now all of a sudden you got this connect and you just stop there. I don't want to go to jail there. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So what I started to notice is that, and even now, and the reason why I feel like it's more my purpose, and I have to lean into my purpose to show this generation behind me, how do you evolve in it? Because just imagine when I got in, it's just like Jordan versus LeBron, and things like that. You got to know that this generation is getting a way different type of money, so that comes with a way different type of power. So they're able to do things that we couldn't even do, and they're able to, like, just say for instance, when you got money to throw around like that, you can make a lot of bad things happen.
Yeah,
you feel what I'm saying? And if your mindset isn't to lead people the right way, then you already know what that is. And I do want to say this because I don't want to sound like that I just had it figured out. Before the Recession album, which was maybe like 5 years of me doing music, I absolutely led hundreds of men the wrong way.
Right.
They would do anything for me, right? They would jump off a cliff. They would do anything. And I was out of control. And I didn't know where I was going. My GPS was not working. So I led them to where I started to figure out, if we keep going straight, we're going to fall off a cliff.
Gosh.
So let me figure out my life. Now, mind you, when I started to figure out certain things about myself and started to change things about myself, I don't think everybody around me was a fan of that.
Sure.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, because people probably benefit from some of it.
Right.
The other thing, too, is that I just want to acknowledge one thing about you. It takes a lot of, it sounds like an overhoked word, but like it takes a lot of courage to say what you're saying, to decide to make these decisions, because you could have continued to go down. It's hard to change things when the external results of your life are going pretty well.
Yes.
It's so difficult to do. But the internal part of your world was terrible, but the external part of your world is going. So it's so difficult. Listen to me, that you listen to this. When the external stuff's going well, but internally, you know, this is not right. I'm not happy. I'm not living right. This is not my legacy I want to have. It takes major, to go, I'm gonna stop this right now, even though it's producing money, it's producing fame, it's changed a lot of things. And sometimes things in life that are working for you, you think, well, that's why I'm successful. But maybe you're successful in spite of some of the things that end up making you win, right? I was thinking about the violence thing you said. A really good friend of mine, it's kind of a well-known thing, was renting the house to Pop Smoke when he got killed. And they were the owner of the house that he was renting. And I was thinking about, when you were just talking about that, how that industry that you're in still, to some extent, it's really dangerous for these young people still. It's a real thing. This is not for the cameras, is what you're saying.
And social media makes it different because it's easier to track people. It's easier to.
That's exactly what happened in that case.
Yeah, it's different. And I remember I had a party one time for Puff at my compound in Atlanta, and I didn't even know Pop, and he was standing like maybe where you are right there. And when I heard it, it just hit me different, because I can only imagine this kid who's getting out of Brooklyn, who's got this chance to stardom, and then you die in the hills of L.A.
Yeah. Just
think about that. It's almost like backwards. You would think you would die where you was at. And the reason why I lean into it so much is because they have to see an example of someone grow up in this. Because when I sit back and I think about Tupac, like, it's confusing because he was before his time, but I can only imagine what he would have been like if he would have still been here and made his 50s or wherever he's at. And I've been one of the lucky ones that have, and I'm not going to try to dumb it down to nothing. Like, what I've been through, I don't think the average man can go through that. You know what I'm saying?